What's going on, guys? Shane here. Today we're talking about, spoiler, how Darren Till was able to beat Stephen Wonderboy Thompson tonight at UFC Liverpool by unanimous decision victory. Now, before we talk about techniques and strategies used by both fighters, I want to talk about the fact that after tonight, Darren Till was the 7th person this year alone that didn't make weight but won their fight. Now, I know us smaller guys like to believe that weight doesn't matter in a fight, but it does. And it's not necessarily just pounds against pounds when you're fighting, it's the performance of your body. When you have to cut a certain amount of weight, that takes a toll on your recovery, on your stamina, you have to rehydrate, so those things do come into play, and if you don't cut the weight, then you don't have to worry about those types of things. But at the end of the day, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson agreed to take this fight, so at that point, it's on him. That being said, we're going to take a look at strategies used from both fighters. Let's take a look. Stylistically, I was really excited for this fight because you got two fighters who utilize that point-style karate movement, the footwork, the techniques, but of course Darren Till is much more focused on his Muay Thai. In his southpaw stance, he kept tapping that lead leg, lifting it up to check. And what this does is it dissuades Wonderboy from throwing that lead leg side kick, one of his most used attacks. Because if he throws it, aiming for the ribs, aiming for the body, all he's got to do is lift his leg up to check and he's going to hit his shin instead. So he kept doing that. He was moving forward with the pressure, lifting that leg high, and then what he started to do was fire off that lead leg side kick to Wonderboy's legs. So when you're doing this over and over, it's easy to disguise that side kick, right? Because it looks like I'm doing the same thing, so I easily turn it from a defensive move to an offensive move. And he's aiming for the knee, he's aiming for just above the knee to do damage, but also to stop him from throwing that side kick. We talk about trapping the hands, right? Putting our hands on our opponent's gloves to stop them from throwing punches. Well, if I put my foot on your knee, it's going to stop you from throwing the side kick, right? I can't extend it because I got someone jamming me up. So that was the first thing that I noticed, was that checking motion, a little bit more of a squared stance, and then utilizing those side kicks to the legs. Then I started to realize the pressure. He was taking the center of the ring. He had Wonderboy circling out to his left, moving away from Till's signature left straight, right? So we saw that Wonderboy, has great evasions, great movement, able to do that from his side stance, just quickly switch and go in either direction, covers a ton of distance. But we started to see in the later rounds, Till started to recognize this. And then he started cutting off the ring. Instead of chasing him and coming around this way, he cut it off at a 45-degree angle. And once he gets him up against the cage, that's where he wants him. He doesn't want him to be able to move and to utilize those sniper attacks, right? Those side kicks, those blitzing punches. He got him in the clinch in the center of the cage a couple of times, but it was because Wonderboy was coming in with straights, and he just kind of punched his way out and slipped out. But he had a lot more success in the clinch when he had Wonderboy up against the cage with a body lock, right? Couldn't go anywhere. Then he came over top with an elbow, did some damage. So it was that pressure cutting off the ring, and then it was in the 5th and final round that he was able to really get him up against the cage. Wonderboy was in a southpaw stance, didn't circle out to his left, but threw sort of a jab or a lead hook with his right hand, to which Till came over top with that signature left, landed right behind the ear, knocked Wonderboy's equilibrium off, and dropped him to the ground. He did recover very quickly, got right back up, and I think it was that sort of solidified the win for Till. Do I personally think he won the fight? No, I did give the fight to Wonderboy. I thought every round leading up to that, he was had much more control of the range and was landing more shots in every single round. But when you're in the hometown and the whole crowd is cheering for every punch that Till lands, the judges, unfortunately, count those shots more. Alright guys, thanks for watching this review. Any questions, leave them down below. I got a question for you though. Do you think Darren Till is ready for Tyron Woodley championship fight? What do you think? After tonight, I think I would have liked to seen a little more action, see him tested a little bit more, but who knows? I want to hear what you guys think. Until next time, be sure to subscribe to get the fight tips before your opponent does. I'm Shane with fightTIPS for the underdogs.